welcome to Liverpool 12-Man Show. Welcome back. And this is going to be another good episode, hopefully. Excuse me. And I am hoping that I can get it in. My throat will bear with me. But I hope that everyone's doing well out there. I hope it's a good Monday for you. Oh, man. Got about, a full match worth of Reds talk. Most likely I don't have a panel today, so it's just me and you. So hopefully you can enjoy the content that I bring you today, and hopefully we don't get into any kerfuffles or the such or the likes. But hit the like button, make sure you subscribe because we are covering it all. Had a couple different stories basically unfold over the weekend, which was pretty interesting. Shout out to AR, shout out to Ref for Life as well, by the way. Big up to each and every one of you. We're going to cover Wirtz's Worldly. We're going to cover Ekitike versus Isak. That's now a growing narrative. Liverpool's perfect start is something that we're gonna basically reflect on. Burnley on the horizon. It's now weird that it's become or transitioned from Isak's saga to now the Guehi saga. And then we'll finish with some shooting the gip, as what I'm going to call it. Basically a whirlwind tour across Europe and just kind of talk about some of the things that are going in respectively in the leagues across Europe and most notably in England. But just remember, I want to be interactive, so definitely jump in with the comments, answer the polls. If I have any audience polls, definitely interact with those if you can. I know they're not always everyone's cup of tea, but it's all good. And let's just get this going. So I'm going to kick off tonight's stories with something that I thought was a very good result this weekend. Now, I understand Germany didn't have exactly the result that they wanted initially, but they did play Northern Ireland. It was, first off, Florian Wirtz was definitely in better form in this game. I was actually in the comment section of a couple of different Reds channels. And it was definitely good to see that some of what I was saying is resonating, and that is like the international break. I understand isn't everyone's cup of tea. It's not something that everyone looks forward to. It's sometimes harshly placed in the middle of of the campaign or the middle of the season, or in this even in the middle. It's like 3 games in, and then all of a sudden you have a break. It's like, okay, the players are starting to get rhythm, starting to find form, and all of a sudden they're whisked off to their home countries. But knowing some national players, at least I know some national players here in America, I do know that it's an absolute honor to play for your country. It's something that they take pride in. It's something that they enjoy and look forward to. And it's something that can be sometimes provide some type of break, possibly, depending on what kind of form you're in. Obviously, if you're in tip-top form, you don't want to leave. You want to continue the ball rolling. But for Florian Wirtz so far this year in particular, with the focus being on him, his form hasn't necessarily been in the ideal situation, whether for club or for country. It hasn't necessarily been in the best of shape. So the opportunity to maybe go back to some of maybe your native language speakers, maybe get some of that home cooking, maybe do a little bit of seeing, maybe even being able to see extended family, if not your inner family. You get to see some of your brethren that obviously might not play on your team, your club team, but you do have relationships because you play on the national team with, and you've grown up, playing in the different levels with those players and making bonds and making brotherhoods. So getting back to that, it allows for you to maybe, just maybe, find yourself a place where you can find that form, where you can find maybe some fitness as well for some players, and this is something that I comment on Cop TV. I was fortunate to have them post what I had to say, and they were in agreement with it. And it was something that I've been stressing about, the fact that, albeit it might at times be annoying, if not problematic at times for some interpretations of it, but hopefully we can make a positive out of this international break, with some of the players that are looking for fitness, some of the players that are looking for form. And again, with Florian Wirtz being one of those players, and him not being the only player, looking for Maka to maybe find some fitness in his run with Argentina. I'm looking for other players as well. Connor Bradley, for instance, to find some fitness and some form. And what was good about Connor Bradley's situation is that he was able to pick up some good minutes. Seeing that he played the good majority of the game for Northern Ireland was a positive, in that hopefully he can do the same for us going forward for our club competitions. But for, again, focusing on Wirtz, I'm really, really excited to see that I was really excited to see that he scored this weekend. Great free kick, by the way. Maybe that puts a little bit of like pep in his step. Maybe that puts a little bit of like intrigue. I don't know, swagger, I should say, into his game, and some confidence, which is what basically a lot of the players all need, is that dire set of confidence. I don't know if some people saw the free kick, by the way, but it was a fantastic free kick. It was an absolutely fantastic free kick. And I think it was to make it even a little bit more poetic, is that he's doing it while lining up against Connor. I know Connor wasn't too happy about seeing that go through, but he was also, I'm sure, happy to see a player that he plays with in his club days or club extent be able to get a good goal. Because despite that, Northern Ireland did lose the match. They lost 3-1, but it was a very good game all the same. I got you. I'm sorry about the outside noise, by the way. That is the landscapers. They're doing the that's the guy's got the leaf blower outside the door. Sorry, or outside the window here. Sorry about that. But greetings to everyone. Greetings to Red Armchair supporter. Greetings to Marc Guehi. Greetings to High Lord, by the way. I guess my microphone is a good microphone to be able to pick that up. I'm not getting my teeth. I'm not doing anything with my hygienist or anything like that. Anyhow. The other game that we got to see was a game full of now players that we care about as well. And and that is Cody Gakpo was added again. Got a low cross in. Memphis Depay buried in that goal. Suddenly the Netherlands were able to edge out a 3-2 thriller over Lithuania. It wasn't necessarily, didn't look like it was going to be a tough game for them, but they ended up pulling out the win. Let's not forget that Roger Van Dijk looked rock solid again, anchoring that Dutch back line. But however, I will say that I'm not exactly over the moon seeing the fact that because he had to deal with playing in this matchup, he had to unfortunately play a good majority of the game. I believe he played all 90, actually. I'm going to pull up the game stats here so I can be accurate on my readings here. But let me just pull this up here. Pull up Holland's score. Shoot. Pull up their score. But I love the fact that Cody was involved. I like the fact that not only was Cody involved in it, but Cody's a player now that is unfortunately, the subject of some people's, I won't say ridicule, but like as being the odd man out possibly on that left side of the pitch, and it's looking like who it might happen in the sense of it might be him being not the player of choice for some, but I'm interested to see what exactly happens with his play. It was very interesting, by the way. Memphis Depay ended up scoring, and how he is. I don't know if that was for the record or not, but he is one of the top leading goal scorers of Netherlands history, which is a wild circumstance. But yeah, Virgil van Dijk did play that entire game. Everyone in the back line, pretty much, except for him and Dumfries, got subbed out, but he didn't. Someone I would like to see. Sweeting are getting cooked. I know that is a game that is on right now, by the way. I'm sure some are watching that game extensively. It is certainly a game that is on in the background, but I don't have it actively in front of me. Let's see. Croatia's up 1-0 at halftime. Let's see other games. I know some people don't really care too much about the. Why am I getting a bad signal right here? Why some people are so bothered, or not bothered at all by what's going on in international play, but all the same. Let's see. Sweden is losing to Kosovo 2-0, by the way, at halftime. 2-0. Israel 1-1. I guess they could have probably used Chiesa in that game so far, Hylor. Yes, Gargares is the other forward in that game for Sweden, by the way. I am gonna touch a little bit on the Burnley Liverpool game. We're gonna do a full. I'm gonna have a full preview of that game coming up later on in the week. I have some fun. I have a couple other fun not necessarily off subject, but like certainly fun football subjects to get on to. Let's see. I don't believe that Isak's not in the game just yet. I don't believe, right? Let me double check and make sure. No, Isak hasn't gotten on the pitch yet, which is kind of surprising. But I know that they've been going with Yorkes, and they've been going with Ilanga up front as their attack. I think we'll certainly see him in the second half. It's a lot to be put on his shoulders, by the way. Big up, Tom, by the way. Big up. But I agree with you. I agree with you that they will we'll all get to see Isak get in. I'm waiting for that to actually happen, to actually center that game in front of me so I can watch and see what he's looking like and see if he's got any issues with his fitness. Because we haven't seen – this will be our first real opportunity to see the player really get involved on any active and competitive pitch action. It's been well over 100 some odd days since he's actually been on the pitch, which is pretty wild to say, all things considered. Switzerland is up 3-0, by the way, over Slovenia. Scotland is beating Belarus 1-0, and Denmark is 1-0 over Greece. As you said earlier in the chat, 1-1 Israel, Italy, 1-0 Croatia over Montenegro, and 0-0 for Gibraltar and the Faroe Islands. National coach of Sweden gave a hint that Isak might get some minutes tonight. Yes, he did. He definitely did. Bradley came through the Germany game at the KK. I don't know what that means. But all the same, we got to see Mamardashvili play this weekend. Georgia smashed Bulgaria 3-0, and our new keeper posted a clean sheet in that match. That's what we signed him for: security, right, reliability. The kind calm presence we've lacked when or if Allison is unavailable. I'm excited to see Mamardashvili get some opportunities to hold down our keeper role for these cup competitions that we have coming up. We have, obviously, as soon as we get out of the break, we're going to have we have our League Cup competition where we'll be seeing Southampton, I believe, is the team that we have on the books to be our first candidate. I don't think that Mamardashvili is going to be our keeper for the Champions League games. I think that responsibility will still be relied on by Ali. And I say that pretty confidently because I do know that we do want to get off to a good start in our search for Champions League glory. But you know, how did you feel about the Wirtz magic, I guess you could say? Or were you more impressed by Cody's creativity? Do you still have all the gold bottles? Yeah, I still have my collection going. I still sell my collection. I've eased off on collecting some of the bottles, but I still have my collection. Was it good? What was like the biggest headline or that you got from this weekend? Was it Florian Wirtz getting his goal? Was it Cody's performance for the Netherlands? Was it maybe the fact that Bradley got quality minutes in his matchup, for instance, against Germany, which is good because I know some people are very, 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 I wouldn't say stuck on the concept that we have a new right back in our midst in Dami Szoboszlai. Again, I just think Dami Szoboszlai is an absolute exceptional athlete, and I also think that he is a terrific footballer. And I think that with those two qualities, he's able to perform and get the job done as a stopgap at right back. But I don't really believe that. I don't believe that right back is his future, nor do I think that he has any ideas or any real like interest in playing that position long term. I think the one of the unique qualities that Dami Szoboszlai does endear is that he is a team player. I think that he is all about team. I think the fact that he loves Liverpool, he plays for the badge. I think that he's been endeared into not only the culture of the club, but I also think that he is a good fit with wearing that number 8 plus wearing that badge on the front of his kit as well. And I think that's why hearing a lot of people say, yeah, he's going to be, oh, he needs to be our right back. Oh, he needs to start. Oh, this and that. Once our right backs are fully healthy, I believe they will be back at it in the sense of holding down our right back position. I don't believe that it's now their fight to get back into the good graces of our coach to be playing right back for us. I think whether it's Bradley who becomes fit before, if Bradley becomes fit before Frimpong, then honestly, I think Bradley will get the start. If Frimpong gets fully fit before Bradley, then Frimpong will get the start. But until that day or until that action actually happens, of course, we're uniquely blessed to be able to say that we could put either either Dami Szoboszlai in that role, or even if we continue to have Gomez healthy, and that's all knock on wood and hope that can continue, then we'll even have maybe even Gomez in that role for us. But again, what was the bigger story? Wirtz's magic, Cody's creativity, Bradley's grit, or maybe even Mamardashvili's clean sheet? What was the bigger headline for you? I know what was for me, but I'd love to hear what it is for you. Let me grab a quick drink. My throat is parched. So I'd like to get into the headline that everyone's buzzing about, but let me make sure I get to see what you guys are saying in the chat. Hyler says he can speak only for himself, but he doesn't need any confirmation as of Wirtz's talent. He has followed him quite closely, for the last 4 years, and for him, it was a dream come true, getting him to Liverpool. Hyler, I understand that completely, and I agree. It was definitely a welcome surprise to see us bag that player. Hyler, or something else. For Red Armchair Supporter, he said Cody's creativity. Okay. Adam is talking about the Kosovo game. Israel just scored a goal, 2-1. Okay. All right. Just seeing what you guys are thinking and feeling. I am going to be keeping an eye on that Switzerland game to see when Isak gets put in. If you're not watching the game, I'll at least alert you when he is substituted in. He hasn't been just yet, but let's see when that happens. They're about 55 minutes into that match. It is an important match for Sweden, by the way. Let me see. Let me see where their standings are. It is an important matchup for them, by the way. They do have to. Getting a win would be very important, if not getting a draw. Right now, they would have to possibly have a playoff, I believe, to get involved, because they are in third place in their group, in Group B. So we'll see if they can pull out the win or at least get a draw. But I wanted to talk about Isak, and I wanted to talk about Ekitike. It is a very unique situation. I was also in the Redman TV chat earlier this morning. Shout out to Lee, by the way. Scouse Lee was in actually a couple of the forums with me. He was in the Redman TV forum with me too. And what was very unique about the conversation that was being had in that forum was a lot of the conversation was going off of the depth, who gets to play. They were talking about, for instance, about Robbo. They were talking, for instance, about even Dami Sabasalai. They were talking about our forward situation. And what was very interesting is that when they mentioned about our forward situation, they seemingly, I don't know if on purpose or not, but when they were talking about our starters, they didn't mention Hugo Ekitike. And what's very unique about this situation is that I would argue, and you can argue back with me, I would argue that Hugo Ekitike is our most informed forward at the moment. Not saying he's our best forward, not saying he's our best option or whatever the means might be. What I am saying is that he is our most informed forward. Now, it happens to be 2-2, by the way. Thank you, Bonkers, for that update. That's the Israel-Italy game, I believe. It is a situation where Ekitike was asked by the French media about Isak's arrival. And I thought that Ekitike gave a very, very professional answer. And I would like to say, Ekitike, being asked by the French media, a question that could easily be a headline, okay? I would say to our right center half, Mr. Konate, please take note. Because, excuse me, sorry about that. His answer was, it's fun. This is his quote. It's fun. It's a pleasure. And it's going to be a problem for the manager. I'm making that point because sometimes the media is going to press athletes, press coaches, even press maybe back or the executive boards for answers or for answers or for blurbs that they can run with. And I think that was a very good answer by Ekitike. I didn't really like the answer Konate gave about, or the statement that Konate gave about Mbappe hitting him up and trying to get into Mbappe getting into his DMs and or calling him and trying to convince him to join him at Real Madrid. I really wasn't feeling it. And I know Konate tends to be lighthearted, tries to be funny. He's very, very frank and blunt with some of his statements, and honest as well. But I don't know. I would have preferred Konate just to be like, look, I'm a Liverpool player. When players do call, or if my teammates or my friends call me with those kinds of inquiries, I basically shut them down because my my interest and my focus is on Liverpool and doing the job here. Those conversations can be had when they're appropriate, not now. That would have been a better answer, by the way. That's at least my perspective. But all the same, we get back to what Ekitike, his French national teammate, did get into, and I thought that was a very fine answer to give. I think it's the right mindset. I agree with that too, by the way. I agree with you, Red Armchair Supporter. I think that he doesn't understand it, maybe because he's always fun. He's always, laughs and jokes and trying to make everyone feel at ease with his with this demeanor. But I thought that it was poor placed. I don't want to hear about Real Madrid. I don't want to hear about Real Madrid trying to either Real Madrid directly or Real Madrid through its own players getting involved in trying to coerce our own players in their focus of the year. And I think that that's something, at least my perspective is, I think that was ill-placed. I agree. Let's have laughs and jokes after the contract is signed. I agree with that completely, Red Armchair supporter. But as far as Ekitike has scored 3 in 4 games already. Some might put into question maybe some of his performance against Arsenal. I don't necessarily hold it against him as saying that now the player's out of form or anything like that. I think that he's embraced this challenge. He's loudly saying to not only the coach but to us as fans, I'm not giving up my spot without a fight. On the other side, you've got Alexander Isak. He's the record signing for us, 125 million. He's the proven Premier League scorer. Liverpool certainly don't go for a player like that and put him on the bench and sit him on the bench or have plans of sitting him on the bench. But once he's match fit, maybe the conversation gets a lot more difficult for Slot to really figure out how he's going to go forward with it. I did see a very, very interesting piece that's done. Everyone knows that I do a lot of not only do a lot of reading, but I actually do a lot of research when it comes to on my own, and also even through some of the other content creators out there. There was a very good piece done by The Overlap that I saw on where they think he's going to play. The guy that did that overlap segment didn't really gravitate towards my idea of playing a 4-4-2 that morphs into a 4-2-4. That's at least my perception of what could happen. In his opinion, he spoke on the fact that he doesn't know if Wirtz and Salah are going to be able to play that midfield or allow to bring the extra coverage that you'll get from our midfield would need. I disagree, but all the same, it is what it is. Because I think that we will see various formations with these players in it, but those are huge tactical questions. Slot is going to have to earn his money there for certain. For me, competition is healthy. This isn't 2010 where, one striker owns the role. This is 2025. We need depth. We need options. And I know that this term is often overused possibly, but that whole it's a welcome headache. Okay. If that's the case, then fine. I guess we got to embrace the headache, love the headache, if you want to put it that way. Whatever the case might be for us. But I'll ask you this. And I get that, the form and fitness is certainly a key to it. And if not for the upcoming game against Burnley, then maybe for one of the games following that. We have obviously League Cup game and we have a Champions League game as well. Where does he get into the lineup is the biggest question, being Isak. Does it mean that, and I mean into the lineup as a starter, by the way. I'm not saying into the lineup as into minutes played, but just into the lineup as a starter. When does that actually occur? I understand that we most likely will not have him play in this Burnley game as a starter. So with that said, but if hypothetically, I know he's not necessarily match day fit, but hypothetically, let's say he goes through all the protocols. He's on point. He looks like he's ready to go and the likes. And we have Burnley coming up, okay? Because most likely, I understand that we will get the game I think the game that I'm leaning towards seeing him start is going to be the Everton matchup. That's the big question. And let me put. I'll change the narrative on this question. Actually, I'll put Everton instead of Burnley. I'll put Everton instead of Burnley. I'm going to ask you this, and please do tell me in the chat what you think. Who should start against Everton? Okay, because I know Burnley's too close. I get that. Burnley's too close. I mean, heck, we're still in the 69th minute. And still no Isak. We're in the 69th minute of that Sweden game. And still 68th minute, excuse me, of that of the Sweden game. They're still down 2-0. Sweden is certainly dictating a little bit more of the tempo, or dictating more of what's going on in this game. Despite the fact that they're down 2-0, they have certainly controlled the game as opposed to like time of possession and the likes. But they're still down 2-0, so they're going to have to figure out something pretty soon. But who should start against Everton? Let's say Everton, because I think by the time we get to the derby, and by the time and being that it's at home, I think being at home provides a much more subtle runway for a player to start in. You might disagree or you might agree, but that's at least my perspective. I think being at home does provide, you'll have a little bit more of the crowd's support behind you. You'll have a little bit more of the positive energy that is more in our favor. But who would you start? Would you start Isak? Would you start Ekitike? Would you do maybe something that I've been asking for, or at least suggesting, and that is start Isak and Ekitike together? Is a big question to be said. Let's see. I see starting Isak is probably 4 to 5 matches away, says Hylor, and Ekitike can still not play a full 90 minutes. We're a bit late this year in getting ready. I don't understand why that would be the case, to be honest with you, considering that we got Ekitike relatively early in the window. I understand that it wasn't exactly the first week of the window that we had him in camp, but all the same, I think that what's unique about it is he is a player that, I get the Bundesliga is not the Premier League. I get that all the same, as so many people have been saying about how the physicality and the endurance and stamina that you need for the Premier League is a little bit different than the Bundesliga. But it's not like the Bundesliga is some is some Sunday league. And the young man does play for his national team, so he has to be prepared for that as well. He is a professional, so I would hope that he'd be able to be ready for it. Hylor thinks he's not ready for 15 minutes. Everton is often a bare-knuckle fight. That is true. It's not an easy competition to get involved in, but look, he's going to have to be put into almost every fixture on our list is a difficult or important fixture, so he's going to have to see some type of courage to be utilized at one point. Not him personally, but the coach is going to have to show some courage in his decision to play him. Not getting minutes so far for Sweden would suggest he's still a long way off a start, says Red Armchair Supporter. I do agree that is a complex situation. They're still going with Gyökeres and Ilanga up front so far. He still hasn't gotten that in, and we're into the 72nd minute. We'll see. Isak against Crystal Palace is what AR is suggesting. Okay. It's going to be very interesting to see when he does actually get involved. If you haven't put your answer, please do. I hope you can put that answer in the comment section after the video is over to enlighten what you feel. But we're talking about it's. I know some people did mention Burnley. I mentioned Burnley somewhat. Let's zoom out for a second. Liverpool entered the international break sitting pretty. 3 games, 3 wins, top of the Premier League table. Not bad for Arne Slot's first crack at his sophomore year as head coach. Most notably, I would like to add to this that there has been talks that apparently Liverpool are investing their interest or focus in getting an extension for Slot as our head coach. Initially, he had a 3-year deal. This is the 2nd year of his 3-year deal. So we're looking to add to that deal, and I think that's an excellent choice considering what he's done and how other teams are already starting to circle with the thinking they might have an opportunity to get him in if we don't continue to have him as our gaffer. But it hasn't all been perfect for our Reds, being that we have conceded goals. We've looked like we've struggled somewhat at points against teams, whether against 10 men, whether against 11 men. We only have 1 clean sheet so far. The Guehi deal falling apart on deadline deal leaves us a little thin, possibly in some people's perceptions at center back. That probably means more responsibility for Giovanni Leone than we first expected, or for some than we first expected. It's a big test for the kid. I am very, very open to see him get playing time. I look at it this way. If we are open-minded, at least a good number of us, if we are open-minded enough to believe that Rio not only is deserving of minutes, but can get minutes, but is deserving of minutes, then we certainly should be very, very open-minded about Leone getting minutes as well. I'm not saying that I want to see Giovanni Leone as a starter off the very bat. Not at all. I think he'll get minutes in cup games and the likes. However, I do want to see him very much invested in getting him integrated with the team. I think it'll be very, very key and very, very important for our team going forward. But next up, big up. Thank you, Hyler, for that update. 72nd minute, Ilanga has been subbed out, and Isak has just been inserted onto the pitch. They're still 2-0 down. This is going to be an important 15-minute run. I think what's going to be unique about this situation, by the way, let me get Lee a link, by the way. Let me get Lee a link. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Sorry about this, fellas and lads and lasses. Sorry about that. Let me just make sure I get that. I know. All right. All right. So Lee might be joining us, by the way. But what I think what is unique about this situation is this. I know we don't play with three-man backfield. I get that back line. Okay, so unique for Sweden is that they play a 3-5-2. But what is going to be very unique in this circumstances for Sweden, or watching the Sweden match that's going on right now. Again, with only 15 minutes left, I get that, but you're going to be seeing possibly something that Newcastle was looking to do. Again, Newcastle wanted Ekitike. They wanted to put in Isak as well, and put Isak with Ekitike, possibly run them as a two-striker, split striker format. We're going to see what Isak works with a split striker format, with a capable striker in Gorkes too, by the way. So we'll see how that exactly works out. But we have Lee in the house, Scouts in the house. Big up, Lee. How are you?
Evening, mate. Yeah, I think we are going to see Hugo and Alexander on the pitch at the same time. I think it'll be like, late in games, maybe we'll see it, like if we're looking to get the result. I'm not sure how long it'll take before we might see them both in the same starting lineup. Mm-hmm. But I think definitely, we'll see them both on the pitch at the same time before too long, won't we? For now, yeah. Hugo's got the shirt, hasn't he? And Alexander's just getting himself fit. I don't want to take any chances, trying to rush him into this. There's no need. We don't need to do that. We're winning games anyway.
Yeah.
And we certainly don't need to against Burnley. It's not like, we must have them. It's Burnley, mate. You know what I mean?
No, the Burnley game will be a good game, I think, to do exactly what Sweden is doing.
To bring them on late.
Yeah, bring him on late. Let him get a run. Let him get his legs underneath him, and continue to get acclimated to playing in.
Then just increase his sub minutes, incrementally, and get him ready for the start, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
What's going to be happening.
Absolutely. Shout out to the Irishman, Brian, and shout out to Pops, by the way, in the chat. Big up. It's going to be. I've been stressing. I know for Pops, he's not necessarily bothered by Turf Moor and them going to us having to go on the road to play a Burnley squad that I believe they just got their first victory, actually, just recently. But all the same, I do not underestimate any fixture. I do not underestimate. I think there was I remember Trudon said something in one of the chat's conversations, and he was and I think it was something like, are you scared of the team or something, or something about being scared, or do you think Liverpool should be intimidated or scared, or something along those lines? And it might even have been for the Arsenal game, considering that they were in form. But I just remember my answer to the question, or my little 2 cents worth to the commentary or to the dialogue discourse, was just, I don't believe that we're scared of any team. I just don't want to underestimate any team. I think sometimes you do a disservice by underestimating sometimes teams and playing sometimes you play to their level, in essence. When you're playing a team that's lesser than you, I know I've been in those circumstances before where you play to a team's level, and that's not necessarily the best thing to do. But Burnley did pick up their first home win against Sunderland. On the road, they've been poor. I get that, but this game is, they've lost to Spurs, they lost to United, but this game is on the road. They shouldn't have lost to United, by the way, but that's a whole nother story. Historically, we've done well at Turf Moor. We won 2-0 and we won 3-1 in the previous season that we matched up against them. We all remember 2016, unfortunately. For some, at least, it's only about 9 years ago, but that's the last time we lost there, and it was pretty disappointing the way that we did. But this will be a different type of challenge. They no longer have company at the helm. They have Scott Parker. He'll look to frustrate us. Slot will want to show how his new formed team, his new assembled team of Galacticos, red Galacticos. I don't even know if that's appropriately put, but how we break down his possibly what they'll put in front of us, which is a low block, adding the possibility of an Isak debut. And this match could be actually kind of spicy and have a little bit of action on it. I don't. It's a very big question. Very big question. 6 days away, by the way, only 6 days away, which is very interesting. I wanted to get your opinion on the Marc Guehi situation, Lee. The deal obviously collapsed on deadline day. There was 35 million that had been apparently agreed on, 35 million pounds at least, but Palace, in essence, succumbed to pressure placed on by their coach, his coach's ultimatum, because they apparently couldn't find an adequate replacement. There has been a suggestion. I don't know if this is I don't know if this is just rumor or if it's accurate, but because he was going to do this before, actually, was looking at possibly doing this before, but there has been some suggestion that Guehi is possibly going to relinquish his captaincy for Crystal Palace. I don't know if you heard that or not, but possibly preparing himself for a January exit, if not a summer exit from the team. But there was allowing for Crystal Palace to prepare and get properly acclimated towards the new, whatever is going to be the new direction of leadership in the locker room for them. But here's the situation as well. Guehi is out of contract next summer. Liverpool are content, apparently, to wait. There's I'm going to go I'm going blank on the journalist's name, but he's a big time journalist, and for us, to the point where when he's like E.F. Hutton, when he speaks, a lot of people listen to take it as the gospel. And it was being reported that we're not going to go back in for him in the January window. We're going to wait for him to be released on a free. I know Manchester City are interested in bringing him in. Real Madrid have spoken on possibly getting involved in pursuing him. Barcelona has been a team that said that they would be interested in pursuing a free transfer for the player. And also Bayern Munich has also put their name into the ring as being suddenly someone that wants to be involved in the conversations. January happens, they'll be allowed to do so. But and all of a sudden that free transfer doesn't look as straightforward as it has before. But I think that there has to have been some conversation with the player that despite the situation, that they are confident that they could get the deal done in the summertime. Do you think we risk missing out by being too patient, possibly, Lee? Do you think that it might be a situation that if we're too patient or we're too confident that this player it's got only eyes for Liverpool, that we could miss out on a possible replacement, if not a possible competitor or competition role for Ibu if we don't get him signed?
I'd like to think that whatever club came in for him, that his eyes are only for us, really, that he wants to stay in his country and be with a big club rather than going abroad just because a load of big foreign teams have showed interest in him for being free. I'd like to think that he'd still want Liverpool because he still want to stay here and, you know, try and win the Champions League with us. But he might go somewhere else. You know, this is something we've got to be prepared for. But I'm sure we will be as a club. Like, you know, I mean, there is a scenario where we don't even go for him, in that we've changed our minds and targeted somebody else by the time next summer rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to wait and see. I still want us to buy him because I like the whole thing of him being an English player who's been playing in the Premier League for ages and won't have to adapt to anything other than a new set of teammates and a different style of football. You know what I mean? Everything else, it's okay. And he's expected to adapt quite quickly too. And because like playing at the back, a centre back like that, it'd be different to what he's playing at Palace. But I think he could adapt to our play pretty easily, Marc Guehi. It's just a question of whether we still want to do it next summer. I don't see it happening in January. I just don't see us doing that. I think if we get him, it will be the free move next summer.
Big up, Hylor. Paul Joyce is the name I was trying to think of. I don't know why I couldn't think of Paul Joyce. There's a few names that get, whenever they speak or quote something or tweet something, it's held as being very, very credible, and that is Ornstein, Paul Joyce, or Joyce, and Romano has been getting a lot of things correct lately. But I agree with you. I think Liverpool would be gambling if we were to wait for the summer. I think by saying that we won't go back in the January window, I don't think that is, despite it being announced by Joyce, I still think that if the right offer, or depending on what our needs were, especially at January, if we go into January and we need a center half because of injuries or whatever, you know, that's a different story. But also, if we go into January and we have the ability to sign him for 10 million, let's say, because that's how drastically the number will change. What's unique about the situation is it will go as far as, Crystal Palace, are you willing to allow for this player to go for nothing? Because in essence, 35 million is what you had agreed to get. January comes, that number could drop all the way down to 10, maybe 10 million or something around that range, you know? And now all of a sudden you're looking at a transfer for a player that, albeit it's January and it's half the season, but 10 million, 15 million, that's something of how bad do we want the player, I think, is what it would come down to in that circumstance. I personally think that Guehi, just like you, one of the primary reasons why the way that we had to fit Rio in affected Chiesa's ability to be added to the roster, to the Champions roster, is because of the number of English players, homegrown players that we have on the team. That we allowed a lot of players that were obviously homegrown players that were a part of our homegrown tally go. You know, whether it was Elliott or whether it was, you know, some of the other players, some of the youth academy or youth players that we've had that were registered for us. So Guehi would be a perfect fit, in my opinion, again alongside Konate. I think he's a more disciplined defender than Ibu. I'm not saying he's a better defender or a better player than Ibu. What I am saying, though, is that he is certainly a comparable defender to have alongside VVD, possibly even eventually becoming VVD's successor at some point, possibly. He's obviously got leadership qualities and the likes, but I don't know. Maybe we're taking a chance in waiting for him to get him secured. That's a big question, though. It's a big question mark. I know for me, too, I'm excited. Just like I just saw the streets, big up to the streets, by the way. I'm excited to see Leone. The more I've been hearing about this player, the more I've started to get excited about us seeing him on the pitch. He is a player that is coveted by the Italian media as being a very, very comparable player. Obviously, super young, but I'm excited to see his development. We were, some might say, forced to give Kwanzaa the minutes that we did. I think that Kwanzaa earned the minutes and the opportunities that he did by just working hard and playing well. That opportunity could be Leone's to have again. If Kwanzaa put Ibu on notice as to obviously early in the season when we ended up starting him over in the Ipswich game, we started him over Kanate, and I understand that he did get the early hook in that game. It could be an opportunity for the player to really get involved and maybe make a name for himself. If Leone, this is just an if. I'm not trying to put too much pressure on him, but if Leone is able to emerge as a solid choice for us at center half, do you think that could impact us going for Guehi, or does that have no impact at all in your mind, Lee?
No, I think it could have impact if Leone gets into the swing of things and gives us what we need. It could affect the decision, and we might be looking for somebody else next. So I think we will still be looking for a player, but Leone coming in, that might change things. We just don't know what will happen if that comes off. Like if he comes into the team and like settles into it. It's interesting, Mike. I did want Leone to be introduced slower than this, and have a little bit, let us have a little bit more luxury of time to introduce him. But I think he's going to see quite a lot of action now with not getting Guehi. And of course, it depends on Joe's fitness as well, doesn't it? How much we see him. Yeah, because Joe's got the experience in the Premier League, So if he's not there, it's going to be, he's going to see a lot of Leone, I think. So there's a few variables in there, but I think we'll be in good shape anyway, touch wood, as long as we don't get injuries.
Okay. Yeah. Kosovo did get a red card. They're already into the 95th minute, however, in this game. There was a handball, and it ended up, and he'd already gotten a yellow card, but then it became a red card. They're certainly still controlling this match, but it looks like it's going to be a 2-0. Looks like Sweden isn't going to be able to pull out the victory in this game. But we shall see. We shall see. I believe it was 6 minutes additional time was given to them. They're already into the 96th minute as we speak. So we'll see how much more additional time they give because of the red card. But we've gotten our glimpse of Isak running on the pitch. That Italy game is a whopper of a game. Jeez, Israel 4, Italy 5 at the moment. Hyler's updating us that. Still no update to see. I was just looking to see if there's any other updates. It should be interesting what happens with them. I agree with you that I don't want to rush Leone into the same circumstances that Kwanzaa had to be rushed into, because Kwanzaa got opportunities simply because of availability. But I still think that Joe Gomez, if available and if he's able to keep fit, I think Joe Gomez could be. I think Joe Gomez could be our answer towards having a third center half, just as capable in terms of talent levels. I think he's just as capable, if not more so capable, than Guehi. Yes, you heard me say it. I would go as far as to say a fit Joe Gomez is still has, in my opinion, does just edge out Guehi in talent level. Not saying that Guehi is bad at all, by the way. I'm just saying that I just rate Gomez that much or that highly. Okay? But we all know, I'm sure everyone's going to be like, fitness is fitness is fitness is fitness. I get it. But I happen to think that Joe Gomez has an incredible range of skills sets for a center half, considering it's why he's able to play right center back or left center, or excuse me, right back or left back, or even play any of the left center half, or even right center half positions. I think it's a very big testament of why I think that is the case. That game has gone final, by the way, 2-0. Sweden has lost that game, 2-0. Switzerland 3-0. Scotland 2-0. By the way, Denmark has gone final 3-0 over Greece. 5-4 is the final of that Israel game. 4-0 is the final of the Croatian game. And Gibraltar ends up losing 1-0.
Denmark and Greece, two teams that have won the European Championship, unlike England.
Yes.
Was a long time ago, but.
Let me see who started the game for Italy. Because I don't know if Donnarumma did start the game for Italy, by the way. You're absolutely right, Crab. Italy's keeper for this game against Israel was Donnarumma. It's not a good look, certainly not. But it is a good look for us. How about that?
You're a monk now, son. Get used to it. We're laughing at you.
You're laughing at you.
You're wearing the dunce cap tonight, Donnarumma.
Yeah, this is what he wanted. He said he wanted to join the best club in Europe, is what he said, not me. He said that.
He said I wanted to join the best club in Europe, but Liverpool didn't want to buy me, so I moved to Man City. Is it the same? What's the best I could do? Come on, help me out here. Come on, that's what he said, isn't it?
There you go. Let's get into this segment I call Shooting the Gip. And basically I'll be firing through some of the big stories across football, giving you my quick takes, looking for your quick responses. Well, I'll get obviously Lee's response as well. So if you're ready for this, let's get into it. I already spoke on the fact that Liverpool won't go back in for Guehi in January. Palace are bluffing, and the Reds know it. Thus, the reason why they think that if they don't want to get a paycheck, then fine. We'll just have to wait and see what happens in the summer. But I think that this is all connected to a big situation that's going on, and that is E-boo. 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 Kanate's contract talks continue, it's being reported, but watch out. Madrid are definitely trying to get involved in changing the players' focus, let's say. The question is, can Liverpool convince him that he's going to be a future leader of this defense? I think, again, I stress that answer, or him even remotely joking about another team inquiring or maybe turning his head a little bit towards them in the interest of possibly joining that club. That's not what a leader does. That's not what a leader does. And I know that he has leadership qualities. I know that Ibu wants to take on being a leader, not only for Liverpool, but he has been actually a captain for France, actually, at periods. He's not the de facto captain for France, but he has taken on the captain's badge for France before in other occasions. Do you think we're going to get this deal done? Do you think we're going to get this deal done, Lee?
The Guehi one?
No. Do you think we're going to get Kanate's deal done?
Oh, Kanate. At the time it is now, it's starting to look less and less likely. I hope they do. I hope we can work something out, but it's looking less and less likely with every passing week, isn't it? Month to month now, it's not looking good. If he's turned down 3 offers, then I thought he was going to be in it for the long haul. Like, I didn't even realise when last season kicked off that his contract had ran down to the extent that it has. It was only as the season was like much more underway that I sort of got wind of it, and it was like another one. And coming hot on the heels of Trent, it's not what we need, is it? Like, especially because we're having problems. Not having problems, but we've already had the small hiccup of not getting Guehi, and to think that he wants to leave for nothing, it does present problems. But Edwards and Hughes have proved very capable in this window, both in buying and selling. So I'm sure whatever transpires, they'll make a good job of it. It'll be the best thing for the club, for the team. But yeah, it's looking less and less likely, isn't it, now that he's going to sign? I hope he does. But if not, we're going to have to move on, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying. You watched. I'm trying to think of what is his name? Oh my goodness, I'm going blank on so many people's names today. He's on Cop TV. Not the main host. Trying to think
Mario.
It's not Mario too. He's a Scouser. He's a Scouser. Is it Alex? His birthday's coming up. It's on the 16th. It's his birthday.
It's Gilday Trot, his surname. Alex Gilday Trot. He's the main fella on that, isn't he?
I think maybe. Whoops. I think Doyle. Does that ring a bell? Doyle. Is that the name? I can't even go on blank on his name.
The journalist Paul Doyle. Doyle. Ian Doyle. No, it doesn't for the.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't for the YouTube person.
To be honest, all right, I'll show you. I'll give you a quick. I'm not going to play this, but I'll show you who I'm speaking about. I'm not going to play the clip, but I'll show you who I'm speaking about. Oh, let me bring it full screen real quick. He's on the right.
Oh, yeah. I don't know his name, then. Doyle, it must be then, yeah.
I think it's Doyle. I want to say that's Doyle.
Yeah, someone said it in the chat. I think it is. Yeah, people have said it in the chat, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure I had the right name. Because he was kind enough to read what I had to say out on the they read like 2 or 3 of my comments out on their broadcast today, which was very kind of them. Big up, and appreciate that. But because AGT, I think AGT is the main guy, and then Doyle is he's a Scouser, and he's been on other channels. Yeah, that's Doyle. Okay, good, big up. I forget what I was bringing up. Ryan was bringing him up in our conversation, but yeah, I guess like they were talking about some of the contract talks. You know what? I know why I was bringing him up, because you know what his perspective is that because we haven't gotten the Konate deal done by now, he believed that it's a done deal. Meaning, like, Ibu's going to leave in the summer. Let's get our ducks in a row, and be prepared to be prepared for a future without Ibu. Okay. That's why I was bringing his name up. I don't know if it's a done deal, meaning like done deal, meaning like it, they're too far apart there, or they're just not going to ever see eye to eye on getting a contract done. He thinks that because it's been left this late, that it's going to possibly be go to the point where we end up losing Ibu on a free. But I don't know. Do you think that's the case? Do you think that we'll get this done? We'll get this contract signed, or do you think we'll be gone in the summertime? Do you agree with Doyle that we'll?
Well, I don't know for sure how many ones he's turned down so far. Honestly, put in the chat that he's just been offered a new one, and his agent's looking at it now.
Right.
So we'll wait and see. But the longer it goes on, obviously, the less likely he is to sign up. So we better get a move on with this, like, and then we'll get some sort of finality. Then, if he hasn't signed, like after we've made all the efforts that we're going to, it pretty much tells us that he's leaving on a free, doesn't it, next summer? I would imagine that we keep him until next summer. I'm not really into the idea of us trying to sell him for a pittance in January. I mean, it's annoying enough to lose a player that good for nothing, but is it worth really like trying to scrabble 20 or something in January when we could just keep him?
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. I don't know what your opinion of Mbappe is, whether it's changed since he's become a Real Madrid Blanco. But I am definitely starting to sour on Kylian Mbappe and his apparent involvement in trying to be Real Madrid's top negotiator or top, influencer when it comes to bringing in talent. And what I mean by that is Mbappe has reportedly told Salah that he would like for him to join him at Real Madrid. Salah just signed a new deal, obviously. It is only I believe, 2-year extension. Years of the extension. So obviously, we'd have to go through the process again if we want to continue utilizing Salah as our main right winger. But are you kind of, I wouldn't say perplexed, but kind of like a little bit annoyed hearing these stories about Mbappe trying to get involved in coercing Liverpool players. It's bad enough Real Madrid do it on the low or do it through their tabloid publications in Spain, but now it's being reported that Mbappe is being one of the head cheerleaders in trying to get another red to look the other way. You have a problem with that?
I've always been an Mbappe fan. Yeah, I haven't really soured on him to any degree myself. I like watching him play. Sorry, what were you asking me about him, Mbappe? Then,
just in the terms of it's a free country. You can speak as freely as you want. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that just because it's a free country or free world or however you want to reference it, free speech, but it still doesn't help that we're having a conversation about apparently Mbappe trying to coerce our Egyptian
yeah, sorry, I lost the thread a bit there. But anyway, yeah, that was a weird one. Do you believe it? I'm not sure.
This is being reported by Team Talk. If you want to look it up.
It's not nice, is it? It's not nice when you hear that, because we're trying our best to persuade the guy to sign. Do you know what I mean? We're right in the middle of trying our best to persuade him to sign. And if he's putting ideas in his head, then that is not a good thing. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, souring on him over that, definitely. As a player, no problem. But yeah, that palaver is a bit much, isn't it? Right at this sort of tender moment where we're trying to negotiate with him. It's not very good that if he goes away on international duty, like
right, exactly.
To have Mbappe in his ear, like, you know, it's not a good one, is it? Same thing with Jude. If he did try and persuade Trent, which I doubt he did, I think Trent made his mind up on his own.
And on top of that, like Trent had his mind made up long before. I don't think there was any real. Maybe Jude had some influence in him joining the team, but I think he had his mind made up long before he ended up going into his final year with us. I don't think that was the case for Ibu, by the way. I certainly don't think that was the case for Ibu, and I don't think Real Madrid had Ibu on their radar initially, to be honest with you. I think the set of circumstances with him emerging into one of the top, if not one of the top center halves in Europe, kind of forced his name into the conversation for Real Madrid. And, I'm just going to say, you can be a dreamer, but this is a dream that I don't want to see come to fruition. So stop dreaming, Mbappe. It's one thing for you to be in the DMs of Ibu. It's another thing for you to be trying to reach out to Salah to get his head turned. That's a whole different story. Some funny and fun news is Andre Onana is out the door at United. He's got a loan through Trabzonspor, right? What's very interesting about this loan deal is that it doubles his wages, and obviously Amarin is now left with figuring out who is going to be the United keeper. Are United in a crisis, do you think? I know they're already somewhat in a crisis of their own.
They're under pressure, but there's a lot of pressure on Lamens, isn't there? Obviously, he's surely got to be the number one. The other guy, I don't think's up to much, is he? Altidore or whatever. So I think Lamans will be coming in and he'll be thrown in instantly, I would imagine. Just, get him used to it as soon as possible and hope that he turns out to be a reasonable goalkeeper, if not a good one for them. Because they certainly need it. They need a good goalkeeper. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? That you said he's doubled his wages, yeah?
He's doubled his wages by going to the Turkish side. Yes.
Well, at least he got his wages off the wage bill because they've made quite a lot of signings, haven't they? They never did get their midfielder though.
I don't know what percentage, because normally, more times than not, the parent club will still have to pay a portion, if not a good majority, of the wages for that player, despite them being on loan. So I don't know what the percentage is of wages that United are going to have to shell out, but it's just the fact that Onana is still going to make out in that it is only a loan deal, and the fact that it is going to be a situation where now you're looking at United have 3 keepers on. They got their Belgian, as you spoke on, their Belgian keeper in. So they'll have the Turkish keeper that has looked shaky, but he's been the preferred keeper while Onana was trying to get healthy. You have obviously Tom Heaton, the English keeper, on the bench, which is incredibly so, is the preferred choice by some in the United fan base as being the keeper that they should go with. But who knows? I don't think much of us really care about the fact that they're going through some harsh times or hard times. It is what it is for them. Some other news out there. Crystal Palace is not out of the weeds just yet when it comes to players that are drawing interest. It is being said that Jean-Philippe Mateta is heavily being looked at by Villa, by Leeds, and a surprise, some of our audience's darling club out there also being looked at by Newcastle. Not a bad striker. Mateta has a lot of physicality when it comes to his approach to the pitch. There's some that wanted to possibly bring Mateta in, not as a starter, but as an option. As
an option for us.
Yeah. I don't think Mateta is Liverpool quality. Out of those teams, who do you think? Do you think Crystal Palace? I don't know we already know what the coach and how he feels about Crystal Palace's lack of real action in the transfer window. Considering Mateta actually is historically has the first goal in Crystal Palace's history in a European competition. Do you think it's an issue? Would it be? Do you think that Crystal Palace would be remotely interested in letting Mateta go? Do you think that could be one of those final straws?
Not to Leeds for certain. He wouldn't be going to Leeds, would he? I don't think he'd take the move himself, and no way would Palace sell him to Leeds. I don't think that one's a non-starter. Newcastle, not now they've bought them 2 players they've bought. I don't think they'd be in the market for another striker. And Who else
Villa.
was it we mentioned? At Villa. Yeah, you could
Villa.
see it at Villa. You could see it at Villa, and you could see him taking Villa maybe as a slight step up if Emery gets, steadies the ship again, 'cause they've had a dreadful start. But yeah, the Villa one I could see for Matata, possibly.
Villa needs something because Villa is not in a good place right now with their squad. They are not in a good place.
They started quite poorly, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's notable that, they need to make some. I know it's still early. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I get that, but every bit of traction that you lose, is not good when you really think about the fact that you have 38 games to make something happen, and every game counts. Every game does count. So you have Villa as being. Why didn't you think Leeds, by the way? Why not Leeds?
For me, Leeds, it's a great club and all that, but not right now because that's if they stay in the Premier League. Where are they going to get the money from to tempt Palace? Would Mateta take a lead? If I was Mateta, I wouldn't take a move to Leeds from Villa after they've just won the FA Cup and they're in Europe. Leeds are very far away from playing in Europe, whatever competition that may be. So I don't see why you go there, and I don't see Palace being up for selling them to a club like Leeds. No offence to Leeds, who are a much more storied club than Villa in history, but not of late. Not of late.
Okay. There is a name out there that at one point was a coveted name. This player is going through some bouts with mental health issues. He's openly come out to talk about the struggles that he's had. And of course, we all would like to see him win that battle and that struggle. But Dele Alli is a free agent. He's been linked with Wrexham and possibly West Brom. It is certainly it's not the step in his career that I'm sure he was anticipating to be making at this stage of his career. However, maybe he can utilize this as an opportunity to help one of those teams advance in their progression towards getting towards the Prem. There is talks about Wolves going in for Lazio's keeper. Could be one to watch in January because Wolves are a unique situation where they could be a team that is fighting off relegation this year. I don't know what exactly is going to happen with Wolves. And there is something of an interest. We spoke about United earlier. And there is a player, one of the players that we actually saw play in the Holland game, and that is Denzel Dumfries. He has said that he would love to play in the Premier League. He is a good player, by the way, obviously, good enough to play for Inter Milan currently. Also good enough to play, obviously, for the Netherlands. He is at an age where it's now make or break. He's at the age of 20, I think he's 29 years old, I think now. Is that, yeah, he's close to 30 years old. So, but he is a good player, 6'2", 6'3", something like that, 6'4".
Yeah, I like Dumfries, capable player, for sure.
Right.
Obviously, we've got Frimpong, haven't we? He's a rival for Frimpong, at international level. But he is a good player, yeah. That's for sure.
There's no way that we go for a 29-year-old. I saw a very, very interesting, like as in Ian Graham had YouTube algorithm knows that I like to watch tactical, like, behind the backroom staff type stuff and tactical breakdowns. So the algorithm sends me so many different videos on different content creators. And one of the interviews that Ian Graham gave, who is obviously well known for us as Reds, he was our basically our resident nerd, I guess you could call it. Um, he was the guy that crunched all the numbers and got the interest of the board, or the interest of at the time Jurgen, involved in bringing in players because of the analytics. He was talking about how Liverpool rarely, if ever, go for players that are in that upper 20-something range, closer to 30. And what was very interesting in his commentary is that he spoke on the fact that Milner was a unique situation. He said Milner, being that Milner was a free transfer, that was that gave it a little bit more legs to get done. And being that not only was it a free transfer, but being that Milner's lifestyle was weighed in as a reasoning as to, they have some algorithm that they utilize, Liverpool does at least, in calculating what players will be able to go beyond that 30-year threshold. And it's very interesting that that's the case. But they have an actual algorithm, and they weigh in a lot of different factors into whether players are worthy, despite being a little bit, for football terms, long in the tooth to go after. I don't think Dumfries is obviously someone that you'll see us go for at 29, but it is something of an interesting take. Finally, Anthony's sell-on clause drama. United just can't win, can they? There is apparently some situation going on with Anthony. Apparently, Real Betis renegotiated the terms of Manchester United's sell-on clause for Brazil's winger. So they will only have to pay 50% of any profit should they sell him. Previously, United would have received 50% of any sell-on fee for Anthony. That's an enormous amount, to tell you the truth. That is a very large number for them to have to pay.
Excellent.
Yeah, but anything
a nicer club.
Yeah, anything that costs United money, I am in for all day, every day, for sure. Let's see. All the games, like I said, have gone final. I don't know if anyone was over the moon or overwhelmed by Isak's 15 minutes of a glimpse into what the 15 minutes would be. Let's see. There was a quiz that I saw that I did, and I didn't get all of the answers correct. I will admit that. However, I was going to say, do you want to take a quick pop quiz before we end the show? We're a little bit over 90 minutes. We're at 10 minutes in extra time?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is on record transfers. Since we have had some amazing record transfers, the BBC did a quiz where they offered up record transfers. I am going to see if I can bring up the BBC quiz real quick. I have the actual questions already. I was going to just ask you them, but I can let you possibly just do the quiz on your own. It's either that or we can do the one quiz for each Premier League team, but that would mean it would be 20 questions. So I don't know if you want to go into a 20 question one or if you want to go into a 10 question one. Which one do you prefer, Lee?
10.
Okay, all right. All right. He's not trying to have any bit of that action. I got you. I'll still rather than do the record transfers, I'll still give you the one question for each Premier League team. I'll just give you the first 10 questions. How about that? All right. Let's start this one. I didn't do this one, so we'll see. I don't think there's a time limit, so that's good. All right. I can just ask you them. Since the Premier, I'll give you multiple choice, by the way, okay? And you can play along at home, by the way. Since the Premier League era began in 1992-93, how many times have Arsenal finished second? How many times have Arsenal finished second? Is it 7, 8, or 9 times? Since the Premier League era began in 1992, how many times have Arsenal finished second? Lee, what is your answer?
My natural inclination is to go for the lowest one, 7. But I'm going to go for 8. I'll say
you're going to go 8
times. Yeah.
You sure? Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
I'll let you. You can phone a friend, meaning you can reach out on WhatsApp, or you can cheat by looking at the at the thing. But all right, you're going 8.
Yeah.
The answer is 9.
9.
The answer is 9. 9 times.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Give me 1 second. It's a lot. It is a lot. Okay. The Gunners have been Premier League runners-up in 1989, 1999, 99, 2000, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2015, 2016 season, 2022, 2023 season, 23-24 season, and the 24-25 season. They've been runner-ups 9 times. All right. Next question. Which player in every one of Aston Villa's 38 Premier League matches, either from the start or coming on as a substitute in 24-25? Which player featured, in every Villa match? I'll give you. I told you I'd give you multiple choice. Multiple choice is Martinez, Rodgers, or Watkins. Those are your 3 choices.
Rodgers.
3 choices. Adam, I know you just threw an answer, and I'll give you another chance because I said I'd give you multiple choice. The choices are Martinez, Rodgers, or Watkins.
I'll say Rodgers. say Rodgers played in all of them.
Okay. Adam Watkins. Okay, all right.
I don't think it was Martinez.
I'm going to tell you that it was Watkins.
Watkins.
0 for 2, bro. You'll pull together. I know you'll pull together. Ollie Watkins started 31 games and came in as a substitute in the other 7. Both Martinez and Rodgers started 37 times. However, both of those players missed 1 league match. Good shout. Good. Well done, Adam. All right. Next question is, all right, Bournemouth achieved their joint highest finishing position in English football last season. Where did they end up in the Premier League table? Was it 8th, 9th, or 10th?
Sorry, run that one by me again. The first one.
Bournemouth achieved their highest table.
Right. Okay. 8, 9, or 10. 10, wasn't it? It was 10th. Bournemouth were, I think.
Okay. You're saying 10th. Adam is saying 8th. All right. Unfortunately, you both are incorrect on this one. It is 9th. Bournemouth came in at 9th place in 2016 and 2017, but also came in 9th place in 2024 and 2025, obviously, which is their highest ever in the top flight. It's the highest ever. All right. I know you're going to bounce back in this one. I get it. We haven't had the success that we expected, but we are going to get this one correct. All right. Here's your question. Which player in Brentford's overall top scorer was the overall top scorer in the Premier League? I think that's how they wanted to say it. Which player is Brentford's overall top scorer in the Premier League? Excuse me.
Okay.
Was it Buemo? Was it Ivan Toney? Or was it Visa?
Well, for last season.
Which player is Brentford's overall top scorer in the Premier League?
Right. I'd say Toney. I don't know, because Toney was there quite a few seasons in the Prem. I'd say I would score maybe in Buemo, yeah.
You're going to say Toney has done it again?
Yeah.
Adam's saying Toney too, but swing and misses on both. It was Visa. Visa has scored 45 Premier League goals for Brentford, while Buemo has 42. Ivan Toney has 36.
I would have thought Toney was the one because of the seasons he had there, with a bit more numerous.
Prolific seasons, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, right? All right. 0 for 4, but still, who cares? We're going to get this one right. We're going to make it 1 for 5 on this one. In August 2024, Fabian Herzler became the second Brighton manager to win a Premier League Manager of the Month award. Who was the first manager to do so? Was it De Zerbi, Chris Hughton, or Graham Potter? In August 2024, Herzler became the second Brighton manager to win a Premier League Manager of the Month award. Who was the first? Was it Roberto De Zerbi? Was it Chris Hutton? Was it Graham Potter?
I'm gonna go De Zerbi.
Okay, all right. I'm going to say.
Well, I was going to say Potter. I was going to say Potter, and then I changed my mind to De Zerbi.
Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. It was Chris Hutton.
Chris
Hutton won the Premier League Manager of the Month award with Brighton in February of 2018.
Yeah. I remember Chris quite well as a player for Spurs in the early 80s.
Yep. Well, at least Adam's holding it down for you. He got that one. You got that one.
I know I can't buy a bloody right answer, can I?
I know.
You know what? Before it started, I was going to say, I've got a funny feeling I'm not going to fare well, and it came through. It's come to pass.
Oh, man. All right. Here is one for you. Burnley's goalkeepers equaled a Football League record in 2024-25 for keeping the most clean sheets in one season. But how many did they achieve? Was it 30, 31, or 32 clean sheets?
Hmm. 32.
Going 32?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Unfortunately, it is 30. All right. James Tracker kept 29 clean sheets in the championship, with the other one coming from the backup goalkeeper. So it's all good. You're bound to get one correct. And I have a feeling it's going to be this question. So here is the question for you. Which of these current Chelsea players scored the most goals for their respective clubs? Was it Liam Delap for Ipswich, Cole Palmer for Chelsea, or João Pedro for Brighton?
Was it Liam Delap? Did he outscore João Pedro?
You're going to say Liam Delap?
Yeah. Just excuse me 1 second. I've drank a lot of water and some of it must exit.
Okay.
I'll be back in 1 second.
Yeah, no. Definitely. It's Cole Palmer. So go shake it off, like, kind of like, get you take a water break or something, or splash some water on your face or something. Because, Cole Palmer is the answer we're looking for. Got 15 goals for Chelsea in 24-25. Liam Delap got 12 for Ipswich Town. And João Pedro was in third place in that list with 10 goals for Brighton. He had 10 goals for Brighton. All right. We'll see. We'll see if we can do a little bit better with this quiz. So far,
I'm hoping to get one right before the end.
It's kind of striking out a little
bit for the 20 club,
but it's all good. The chat is holding you down. I know the chat's holding you down. It's all good. How about this? Crystal Palace beat Manchester City 1-0 in May to win the FA Cup for the first time. But who did the Eagles beat in their Wembley semi-final? Was it Villa, Forest, or Wolves?
I believe it was
Forest. Who did they beat to reach the final?
Yeah, I believe it was Forest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got that
Forest?
one right. Nottingham Forest, yeah.
I'll wait to see if the chat can rescue you. Oh, no, the chat thinks it's Forest as well. Oh. Crystal Palace beat Aston Villa 3-0 in the semifinal before the FA Cup final win over Manchester City.
Because I swore it was Forest.
Mad. Yeah, definitely. Which side? Okay, here's one for you. This one, you'll do your dad proud by getting this one right. Which side did Everton beat to give David Moyes his first league victory since returning to the club for a second spell in charge? Was it Brentford, Spurs, or West Ham?
Spurs.
Let me see.
Yeah, I seem to be. Yeah,
that would be correct.
Yeah.
There you go. We knew you had one of them was in you. Everton beat Tottenham 3-2 at Goodison Park on January 19th, 8 days after Moyes' return to the club.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're on the board. People. All right. So I'll ask you this. Who was Fulham's top scorer in the league in 2024-2025?
Fulham's top scorer in the league.
Was it Iwobi, Jimenez, or Munoz?
Nunez, who's he? Oh, Munoz.
Was it Munoz, Raul Jimenez, or Iwobi?
I'll say it was Munoz.
Oh, chat got this one wrong too. Raul saved me a couple of times in fantasy points last year.
I was going to pick him first and I changed my bloody mind again. I've done that a couple of times so far and missed out. Should have stuck with me first.
I know, just go with your gut.
But he's the obvious one, isn't he, Raul Jimenez, for Fulham? He's the obvious answer. So I thought I'd give Nunez a shot. Like,
it was relatively close. Raul had 12 Premier League goals. Iwobi had 9, and Munoz had 8. So it wasn't a runaway. Do you want to try? Do you want to try an extra one? Do you want to see if you can end on a win?
Why not?
Right answer.
Why not?
All right. Because that was 10 questions. That was 10. All right. Leeds United won the championship in 24-25 thanks to a better goal difference than Burnley managed. But how many points did both sides end up with? Was it 98? Was it 99? Or was it the century mark of 100 points?
98.
Leeds United won the championship in 24-25 thanks to a better goal differential than Burnley. How many points did both sides end up with?
I'll go the lower end of the scale.
99 or 100.
98.
You're going to go with 98?
Mm-hmm.
Both Burnley and Leeds reached the century mark of points, but Leeds' goal differential was 12 better than Burnley, so they ended up the champions. Big up, Eric. Well done.
Yeah, I didn't know that. No.
The fact that two teams ended up on 100 points, that's pretty exceptional.
Crazy, yeah. I mean, there are more games in the championship, like to the Prem, but yeah, that's a crazy total. That's a great season for both sides, isn't it? 100 points.
That is a crazy total.
Shame that one of them had to lose out, after getting that sort of total, but that's football.
Yeah. All right, here's your layup, just so we can end this. We're at question 12. I don't think you want to go to the full 20. You said you didn't want to go full 20. We're only supposed to go 10, but I wanted to see Lee end on a win, and this is definitely going to be his win. All right. Liverpool broke their transfer record to sign Florian Wirtz for £116 million in June. But which club did they buy him from? Was it Dortmund, Bayern Munich, or Bayer Leverkusen?
Oh, I forget now.
Get out of here. Get out of here, Lee.
I think
You
it's
know.
the Leverkusen, isn't it? It's by
Yes.
Leverkusen.
Yeah, I know.
Excellent, excellent.
I know.
Just put me
I
total
know.
up a bit.
Yeah, because I don't know if you would have gotten the next one. The next one would have been a little bit more difficult. Well done, well done. You got that correct. You got that one correct. Al Halal. Ethan, what did I say? Yeah, I got it right. Anyway, that's the extent of our quiz. We're at the 2-hour mark, so we're going to be ending our show. But Adam has a quick question for you, Lee. Go ahead, Lee. Give us the quick transfer or trivia question, real quick for our trivia guru, Lee. I think Lee is, by the way, the last winner of our quiz of any. We used to have quizzes quite a bit, where we'd have like Quizmaster style. Anfield Irishman Brian would put together some wicked quizzes for us, and he put a lot of time into them as well. By the way, and I think it is Lee that's the reigning champion of the last quiz, either by him or maybe it was by one of the quizzes I came up with. Okay, so he's saying King Kenny was Liverpool's highest record fee, Wirtz, and now Isak. Who was the second on that list? That King Kenny was the Liverpool's highest.
Yeah. Record. Yeah, I think that might have been Stan Collymore for 8.5 million.
I'm waiting to see what Adam says. He says correct.
Yeah.
There you go. Maybe the trivia was too recent for it. Then when it gets to some of the older trivia, he rips through those. Yeah, those are the layup drills for him.
It was off form tonight. I haven't trained enough. I haven't been good enough in training, have I? So my match performance was a bit shabby, like left a bit to be desired.
You had like Isak's form, I guess, right, going on right now. But it's all good. It's all good. Well done, all the same. I definitely commend you even embarking on the quiz. Well done, well done. Well, my friends and family out there, my Reds friends and family, also friends of the Reds community as well. This wraps up another episode. We've gone well over 90 minutes tonight. So, but I wouldn't have it any other way because it's always fun when I do have a companion on the trip. Lee made it that much more enjoyable to keep the show rocking and rolling. We had talk about Florian Wirtz's free kick. Give me 1 quick second. Give me 1 quick second, Lee. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, people. Important. Got a important phone call. But Florian Wirtz's free kick to Cody's assist. We talked about Ekitike embracing the fight for the top spot with Isak. I don't know if it's going to be much of a fight. It's more of whether he can influence our coach to see him as undroppable and maybe include some format of our formation that includes the two, because I think that everyone is most assured that we will have Isak as our starter in one way or another as the number 9, as he wears the number 9 kit. We went from Burnley preview, a slight preview at least, to the Guehi dilemma, then a whirlwind through Europe, which was fun to do. We covered it all, even got a quiz in, got a current events quiz, 2 for 11 isn't horrible. It's not a goose egg. All right. So I give him mad props for doing that, Lee. And I also give you guys mad props for chiming in at home. If you stuck with me to the end, you're the heartbeat of this show. I really do appreciate it. Smash that like button. Please drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Just remember the show grows with you. And we'll be doing – I have 2 really, really cutting-edge episodes prepared. I have a members show that I'm going to be dropping this week as well. So if you are a member, be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a really in-depth conversation. It's going to give it some real cool insight and also give a real look at the ongoings of an important aspect of our team. But more so than not, I'm going to ask Lee which show we should go with tomorrow backstage, but it's going to be one of 2 shows. It's either going to be a controversial 13 list of 13 players type show, or it's going to be a number 9 show. So I'll give you those 2 little hints or 2 little teasers as to what it might be. But we'll see which is going to get the nod for tomorrow. All the same, big up to each and every one of you. We're going to cut it short here. Lee, do you want to say goodbye to the people before we push out?
Yeah, just cheers to everyone still here. See you again. Nice.
Excellent. Well done, my Red. And well done to all the Reds out there. We will talk to you tomorrow, same time. I'll be broadcasting 8:30 is the time I'll look to broadcast tomorrow. So hopefully it will see you soon. Or see you tomorrow at most. And if anything, up the Reds each and every time, people. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, if not day or evening, whichever is the case. But take care.